Behind the scenes, Joe Biden has grown angry and anxious about his re-election effort. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video, and today it is time to talk about the 2024 presidential election because everyone, I made a video yesterday talking about why the Biden campaign seems to be freaking out about 2024. Well, it's not just a campaign anymore. It appears that Joe Biden himself is panicking about the current state of the election, as apparently, according to NBC News, he has grown angry and anxious about his own re-election effort. Yeah, NBC News reported this. That should tell you everything if Biden himself thinks he might be in trouble. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Again, folks, all support is greatly appreciated, and yeah. So I have made many videos in the past couple of months talking about the same thing, but it's always been some random staff member. It's never been Biden himself starting to get anxious about 2024. If the candidate himself thinks, yeah, I might be in trouble, that's not a good sign, because you would think the candidate himself would be the most positive, the most upbeat about his prospects. Well, according to NBC News, he's not. In fact, according to people in the White House, he has grown angry and anxious about his re-election effort. Man, this sounds like a real confident campaign. So let's get into it. President Joe Biden was seething. That might be a meme. That sentence alone might be a new meme. Biden was seething. That's a great way to start your article, by the way. That's always a good sign when that's your first sentence. In a private meeting at the White House in January, allies of the president had just told him that his poll numbers in Michigan and Georgia had dropped over his handling of the war between Israel and Hamas. Well, there goes that theory that the polling is all fake and that, oh, Biden is secretly ahead. Their own poll numbers that they're willing to admit in private. They are saying he is in trouble in Michigan and Georgia because of the war in Israel. I mean, think about that. That's the campaign talking in reality. Like, hey, this is what's happening. And they're admitting, oh yeah, by the way, we might be in trouble. That's not a good look for the campaign if they're admitting that in private. Both are battleground states he narrowly won 4 years ago, and he cannot afford any backsliding if he is to once again defeat Donald Trump. He began to shout and swear, a lawmaker familiar with the meeting said. Good lord. So, it's a lawmaker, probably a congressman or whatever, that talked with him, or at least known about the conversation. And they're willing to admit to the media, yeah, by the way, he was swearing, shouting, losing his shit. Sounds like an Irish dude. I mean, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but I mean, yeah. That is Irish temper to a T when he's shouting, swearing over bad poll numbers. Again, does this sound like some fake news conspiracy when a lawmaker's admitting to the media this is what happened? And this sounds like this is a Democrat. This doesn't sound like, some Republican that secretly knows the conversation. He believed he had been doing what was right, despite the political fallout, he told the group, according to a lawmaker. Asked about the episode, Andrew Bates, a White House spokesman, said, President Biden makes national security decisions based on the country's national security needs alone, no other factor. Oh, bull crap. Really? Then if he's making it based off of, national security itself, why the hell did he flip-flop on the ceasefire? At first, he was, trying to play both sides. But now, he's still trying to play both sides, but he's pretending to support a ceasefire, at least a temporary one. So you cannot tell me with a straight face that he's doing this not based off of polling, but because of national security. That's bullcrap. We know for a fact the Biden campaign told him flip on the issue because of what happened in Michigan, what happened in Minnesota, with your primary results. That's a fact. We know that. For months, Democrats have watched the 2024 campaign unfold with rising alarm as the sitting president struggles to gain ground against his defeated predecessor. Frustrations rippling through the party have reached the top, with Biden at times second-guessing travel decisions and communication strategies that have left much of the electorate clueless about his record. Interviews with nearly 20 lawmakers, president and past administration officials, and Biden allies show. So Biden himself is starting to lose confidence in the campaign. And it's only, what, March? I mean, if this was like late October and it's like a McCain situation where he fell apart the last second, whatever, that's one thing. But this is March, and he's starting to second guess his campaign, saying, maybe I should not be doing some of these, events. Instead, I want to sleep all day. I don't freaking know what Biden wants to do. But if you're second guessing your own campaign already, I mean, not just, one or two things, but it sounds like it's much deeper than just a one-off. That's not good for Biden. The starting gun for the general election campaign fired last week as Biden wrapped up the Democratic nomination, yet he is still searching for ways to impress upon voters that he deserves a second term by a dint of policy achievements that eluded past presidents. Oh, yeah, achievements. If a crisis at the southern border and disasters across the world is an achievement, well, yeah, you're probably the greatest president ever. He's not, but you get the point that no one believes he's done a good thing as president. I mean, name one. The child tax credit's one of the only positive things he did, but that was so early in 2021, and really it's not some crowning achievement by President Biden. That's the problem. He doesn't have that huge policy W that most people agree on that's significant, but that's also good. History suggests it will be tough for him to recover. Biden's 38% approval rating at this stage in the calendar is lower than that of the last three presidents who went on to lose re-election. Trump at 48%, George H.W. Bush at 39%, and Jimmy Carter at 43%, according to Gallup survey data. So he's not just below Trump at this point. Trump was still at, 48%, which is about as good as it will get for Trump. Either way, he's below Jimmy Carter and H.W. Bush. When you're in conversation with Jimmy Carter, that ain't good. I mean, the comparisons of Biden being the modern day Jimmy Carter, right there. He's below Carter himself. I mean, you're talking about what? A huge comeback in 10 months? Or even like, not even 10 months, like 8 months? I highly doubt that. Something could theoretically happen to bump up Biden's approval. But at this point in time, he should have recovered at this stage. You cannot just say, well, he can recover by October. At that point, you're just coping. At some point, these people got to understand, his numbers are not going to bounce back up. Nothing he can do, as of now, will bring his numbers back up to something respectable, not freaking 38%. Biden has long believed that he isn't getting sufficient credit for an economy that has created 15 million new jobs. Do you really want to know why he's not getting credit for the 15 million new jobs created? Because it's one of three things. One, jobs lost during COVID that returned. Now, that's a decent chunk of the jobs, especially early on. Two, a lot of these new jobs are not high-paying, blue-collar manufacturing jobs. Most of them are crappy part-time jobs. But number three, and this is actually a funny statistic, actually kind of sad too, a lot of these new jobs are for non-citizens. Yeah, you heard that right. Those that are born in America, native-born Americans, they're not getting the job growth. These are non-citizens. What does that tell you? These are not high-paying jobs. Plus, inflation has gotten so bad, people can't even afford anything. So no one freaking cares that you created 15 million new jobs. Because guess what? There is an affordability crisis. People can't afford to live. Who freaking cares? Looking to reach distracted voters who may be tuning in, he told the speechwriters before the State of the Union address to tone down some of the lofty rhetoric and plainly lay out what he's done, a person familiar with the speech preparation said. During internal discussions, He'll press aides about which parts of his record to highlight in different states. Set a second person who is familiar with the matter. And that's what every president does, you know. Some states have better recovery than others, you know. Some states have different type of jobs. Say Michigan. Obviously, the jobs in Michigan, they're going to be significantly different from, say, the jobs in Arizona. But either way, the more you read this, it's like this campaign, even Biden himself, he's losing faith that he can even win. Does this sound like a confident campaign? Surrounded by protective aides who want to minimize the chance of a flub, the 81-year-old president has chapped at restraints that he sees as a counter to his natural instincts as a retail politician. A third person familiar with the internal discussions said, "This is bad. I mean, not only is this campaign losing faith, so is Biden. He's losing faith in everyone around him. He thinks he's being restricted, which, sadly enough, it's probably a smart thing to do. He's not all there. He's one major mistake away from getting absolutely crushed. Like, he says something he shouldn't say that even most Democrats cannot defend. But when he acts like that, it makes him seem weak. Like, oh, he's the president, but he's controlled by some random staffer? Who's really making the decisions if that's the case? That's the problem with Biden's campaign. And even Biden himself is starting to realize he's in deep trouble. He's not liking what the campaign is doing, and they have no clue what to do. I mean, at this point in time, even I don't know what to do. It seems like everything they've tried hasn't worked. Whether it's insurrection, whether it's abortion, whether it's the war in Israel, nothing they try works. And instead of trying to figure out something else, they've gone back to the one card they shouldn't use, the economy. I mean, why would you highlight the economy when the vast majority of Americans, even many Democrats, admit the economy stinks? I mean, they're saying the numbers have gone up. Congratulations. Instead of 20% of Americans think the economy is good, it's now up to 25%. That's a surge. No, that means 80% of Americans think the economy still sucks. Just slightly less Democrats think it's as bad. This is not a good look for the campaign when Biden himself is saying, yeah, this is not going too good. I'm losing faith in all of you. Either way, I don't know how this campaign recovers. I mean, we're going to a point now where can he really make a comeback in 7 to 8 months? I guess it's possible, but does this sound like a campaign that can do that? As of now, no. I mean, we're in March now, and it does not seem like the campaign knows what to do. At least the Trump campaign has already figured out their messaging. The Biden campaign, they're still the drawing board. This should have been sorted out 2 to 3 years ago, not in March of 2024. But anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.